Hey everybody, welcome in or welcome back to my channel. This is Miss Tarot, and I'm gonna get right out of the way right now. If there's a bunch of noise in the background, we just had a huge thing of Canadian geese fly over the house. You might still hear them squawking in the background. And it made the dog psychotic. So if you hear extra pitter patters, I'm really sorry. I need to get this recording done for you guys, and waiting until the entire house is silent is very, very difficult. Now that being said, thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys. Today we are just going to do a very general reading. I've done a lot of readings lately that is always had like a very specific theme or topic. And you know what? We're just going to do a general reading for the collective. We're going to let whatever needs to come out, come out. And in another week or so, I will come out with another relationship love reading. I also got some requests for doing a career and money type readings. I'm trying to give you guys what you want. So if there's something that I'm not covering, put it down in the chat. Okay. So without being, too long-winded in that, we are going to take a look at what the overall incoming energies and general messages we have for you today. And we are going to do that with the Soul's Journey Oracle cards. There we go. And also the Guardian Knight Tarot. And these are nice big fat cards. So pardon me if my shuffle is extremely messy. We will also wrap up with the angel number messages as well. Okay, so without further ado, let's take a look and see what your current and incoming energies are right this moment. So this is going to be, since this is going to be a general reading, I am recording this in the beginning of November. This doesn't necessarily have to be for November. Whenever it's coming into your timeline is kind of when you need to see it. Just trust that whenever this pops into your feed is when you need to hear it. Okay, so we're going to make this one timeless. Okay. Strongest incoming and current energies, please, Spirit. And again, my dogs are pitter-pattering around. I'm so sorry. That's what happens when you have hardwood. Anything else? I'm open to anything else you guys want to say. I do kind of feel like there's more. That's what I thought. Anything else? I usually get 4. My spiritual team is pretty consistent, I think. I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, so what do we got going on? We have purpose. I know what I am here to do. We also have judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. We have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things I cannot change. And we have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Okay, so just a little overview. I mean, I know that most of these sound pretty straightforward, but I like to kind of give you a general overview just in case, extra meaning tends to resonate, but we will get into the tarot and get a little bit more specifics, okay? So, with purpose, this one has a lot to do with understanding your role in the universe, understanding your role and purpose in life. And that is something that eludes a lot of us, right? Your purpose in life, in my feelings, these are my personal views, by the way, your purpose in life is not your career, rather it's like your career is guided by your purpose. So I think this card is asking you to be a little introspective and figure out what kind of activities really speak to your soul. Like, for me, tarot was just a natural calling for me, and kind of delving into esoteric type realms, it very much called to me. And I still don't know what my entire purpose is. I pursue things that I love with the lens of wanting to bring it to others. and use my use my powers for good type of thing. But I still am very much somebody who thinks that I haven't found my true calling and my true purpose yet. It might be this, but it's a work in progress, right? I think that you are being called to really pay attention. If you have had an inner longing or like a hole in your soul that you feel like something is missing, something needs to be filled, this might be the reason why, and you are being asked to really expand on what brings you joy, because most of the time, kind of what brings you joy is it aligns with your higher good and your ability to bring good to others. So I'm not saying that that is your purpose, but that might be something that the cards are telling you to do. Okay. Judgment is pretty straightforward. I'm not gonna lie. With judgment, I think that while this one says, they understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges, that kind of follows purpose. We're all connected, and it's only the roles that we've chosen to play here on earth that seems to make us different. The biggest lesson that I've ever come across is that chosen lesson to learn to love, to do everything with love, to lead your actions with love. There are so many situations that it's impossible to do that with 100% consistency. People test me, like life tests you, right? But the core lesson is to look back on these people and situations and see yourself in everyone and every situation, because everybody has their own struggles. And this card is very much about understanding that you are seeing a very small snapshot in picture, and not to jump forward too hastily when it comes to understanding what other people's challenges are. I tell my boys this all the time, in terms of, school problems and things like that, where you never really know what the other person is going through. The reason why somebody might be lashing out in an angry way might be just because, maybe his mom recently found out that she has breast cancer. Like, you don't know what's going on in the background of people's lives. And for us to judge people harshly or to accept that judgment from others is just, it's not doing you any favors. It's not leading with love. It's not, it's be the light. You're not being the light that you kind of want to see in the world, right? So I think this is kind of a reminder, especially for you in terms of the purpose part, not to judge yourself too harshly, and also not to judge others, because sometimes when we get on our purpose and our path, we tend to I've seen people become a little bit more, I don't want to say like high and mighty, but very condescending. And there's a lot of that in the alternative medicine and just the kind of spiritual, I don't want to say realms, but communities where there's this underlying toxicity of people who seem to think that they have everything figured out. And I am the first person to acknowledge that I do not have everything figured out, and neither do you, right? So giving each other grace and while we find our purpose. And I think that it's so funny because I think these are kind of following each other. Then we have acceptance, right? And acceptance is kind of accepting things that you cannot change. What's that quote where, God give me the strength to realize that I can't change, or there's just something very, very good, and I can never say it right, but it's learning to accept the things that you cannot change, and feeling like things are out of your control. I think you just need to realize that the universe has given you this incredible opportunity to release control. I mean, can you reframe it in that particular way? Because perhaps in doing so, it's going to help you realize that there's a rhythm. There's like there's a reason for the season. There is a particular, path and journey that we're all supposed to take. And I know sometimes we can't see it in hindsight, but it always reveals itself down the road. And maybe this is a person or situation that doesn't agree with you. Oh, shh. Hey, chill. I don't know if there is, Sadie Mae. Stop it. That's all I gotta say. Stop it. Maybe it's a person or situation you don't agree with right now, but instead of having the knee-jerk reaction based on an emotional response, it kind of goes with the judgment card as to, take a step back and observe and make an attempt to understand the situation or the person without jumping to conclusions. All right. And not everything, just because it doesn't fit in your little box doesn't mean it needs to change. Right. It's, so just release, be like the river, go with the flow, and go with the flow and be flexible and that sort of thing. Okay. I don't know what Sadie's growling at over there, but I don't know if there's birds in my backyard or what. So then we have imagination. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. And that's something that I think is loosely related to what we're kind of talking about, because, how do I want to put this? By its nature, our physical body is really limited to, pretty much 3 dimensions, right? Your mind is able to travel without boundaries and merge with spirit and the consciousness. And your brain is just that amazing creator, right? And your imagination is the tools in its toolbox. I think, in my opinion, again, I think that thoughts are real and they have the ability to manifest themselves into the physical world. So being able to train your mind and your thoughts to the positive vibrations, I guess, positive frequencies, you're going to attract more positivity into your life. If you can see it, you can be it. Okay. So really take a moment to visualize the components that you want to have in your life and really put a conscious effort into those thoughts with love and care, because they will become your reality. Okay. Because conversely, if your mind stays mired in negative thoughts, you're only going to bring that energy to you. Like attracts like, and that's very much something I believe in when it comes to energy. Okay. So be positive, be loving. Your imagination and your ability to express yourself is going to very much help with your manifestations in terms of what you want to come. Okay. All right. I was going to go over those super quickly, and now it's, we're probably like a good 10 minutes in, and I'm just now getting to the tarot. I'm sorry. I can get kind of wordy, but I do feel that sometimes things just need to be said. So I'm just gonna pull them out. Well, you know what? Let's try. They're fat, and I'm afraid they're gonna fall out of my hand. But let's just see. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Okay, that's good for right now. I knew the Tower was going to come out. I was just shuffling just now and I was like, the Tower's coming. And I don't know why I thought that, but I did. Purpose is what we got for the Tower. 7 of Pentacles for the clarifying judgment. King of Wands, clarifying acceptance. And the High Priestess, clarifying imagination. Now that is crazy, because obviously the High Priestess is about our inner knowing, our intuition, our own conscious sacred knowledge, the subconscious that kind of has everything that we can't delve into. And that's something that's really difficult. But let's start from scratch, okay? So the Tower. Something is the current energy right now with you finding purpose. Something's going to fall in your life. The Tower is about, it's that wrecking ball that's going to come and tear down the old structure, the old belief system, the old patterns, pretty much I don't want to say pretty much everything, because it could very well be just one aspect of your life that needs that wrecking ball. But the tower is something I've always believed that you know what needs to leave. You know what no longer serves you. And if you don't make that conscious effort to walk away, the universe is going to pull the rug out from under you and say, well, we gave you all the world chances to do this, and you kind of, you ignored it. So now we're going to remove it for you because we know what's good for you. We want you to stay on that higher purpose, higher calling path. So what is it about that's happening in your life that is leaving? Okay, we have the Eight of Cups. So you are walking away from something. Make that conscious decision, or the tower is going to rip it out from underneath you. I'm really curious as to what it is, though. The Six of Cups. This might be a family dynamic. This might be something happening. The Six of Cups has a lot to do with nostalgia and past, and things that hold you to your past. Okay. I'm really thinking that you are being really constrained, that you're very aware of now that you're being constrained by a dynamic that was set forth in motion from the time you were probably pretty young. Expectations, possibly the need to please, okay? The need to please a parent, other family members, to get recognition. If you were somebody who was in a family dynamic with a lot of emotional neglect, or that need to constantly prove yourself, to prove your worthiness, this is something that you are awakening to right now. And you need to make this conscious decision to walk away from it, because I don't think you are going to be able to do this and to move into what is coming next for you until you do this. So the door is shut right now. The minute you make that conscious decision to walk away with what isn't serving you and allow this tower moment to happen, the quicker it's like ripping off a Band-Aid. The quicker you're going to be able to go through that initial moment of like, whoa, chaos, what just happened? Like, this just got taken out of my life, but it's for your own good. Nothing bad is going to come from this leaving. Okay, I want to make that entirely clear, because we do have the Six of Cups here with the Eight of Cups. This is you being very self-aware of what is good for you. So you're not going to be sad to see it go. Okay, I don't know what this is. So we're going to get a little bit more tarot. But I am going to jump over here to the Judgment card. Okay, we got Judgment again. That is absolutely crazy. When we were talking about the Seven of Pentacles, this one has a lot to do with doing the work. Okay, this is you putting in all that effort to build something that you care about. Okay. And we're going to go two different ways, because I have so many little, swirly thoughts going on right now. But what I do think the main message is here for most of you when it comes to the Judgment card and, the Seven of Pentacles, is that this has a lot to do with your, how do I want to say this? Has a lot to do with your ability to keep trudging forward and doing the things that you need to do to be successful. I don't know if you are under somebody else's very critical judgment eye, and maybe that's been holding you back from your true purpose, because you haven't been able to go out there and give it your all, because you're trying to keep this kind of under wraps. And I do, I can give you an example of something very much that I do. Is my family, and I mean my parents, siblings, greater family, do not know I do this. They are very staunch religious people, and they would not approve of this. And I don't put myself out there for their judgment. I very much protect that side, that they don't need to know about certain aspects of my life, right? So I think that for some of you, this is a point that Spirit wants to tell you is that what you're doing for yourself is nobody's business. Release yourselves from that judgment. There's another beautiful kind of like saying or quote where it's like, don't tell anybody what you're doing until it's done. Or in other words, it's not your business. You need to do what you need to do for yourself and to make yourself happy and to fulfill your own cup. And telling everybody else kind of opens it up to criticism. It opens it up to talking to people who might give you self-doubt. Like, you need to surround yourself with champions and cheerleaders, right? Who want to propel you forward, not drag you down. And I think that there is a severe judgment aspect where you are being awoken to how much work you've had to put into here to get to you where you are right now. And I get that the sense that there's not a lot of people who approve of this path or what you want to do, but maybe that's related to this over here where, you need to leave behind the things that don't serve you anymore in order for you to reach your true calling and purpose. These might be interconnected or they might not be. The other option, it's really hard to really read for like a gazillion people. So this is a very collective reading, but the only other opportunity I see here in terms of deciphering this little tarot configuration is you being awoken to the fact that you are possibly being the person who is holding other people back, being the overly critical person, allowing the negative thoughts and intrusive thoughts to win. And what I think this is probably your desire to protect and want to see people thrive, but you're also, you could also be kind of stuck in negativity because you might be watching somebody receive something and do the work that you've always wanted to do. I think for some of you, that might be a little bit of a jealousy factor, seeing other people succeed where you are not. And even though, despite the fact that you are putting in the work, you are awakening to the fact that you're not aligned with success. Okay. And I think that's going to kind of go into the acceptance and with the King of Wands, because the King of Wands is somebody who has that spark, that drive, that creativity, that positivity that really kind of says, I'm going to get this done. I'm not going to look back. I'm not going to let anybody stand in my way. I'm just going to move forward. And I think you're kind of lacking that because there is a lot of things here about the situation that you can move forward with and cannot change. But how do you work around that? How do you stay flexible enough to say, okay, well, this didn't work. I'm going to go over here and do this. This pathway didn't work. I'm going to use my creativity and my imagination, my intuition to find another way around this, because your goal is always going to stay the same, right? But there's different paths to get to your goal. And I think that you being kind of bogged down in negative feelings about success and wanting to propel this purpose forward in order to actually get this moving, you're going to have to get rid of the thing that doesn't serve you. And this could be a person, place, thing, anything that is kind of holding you back. There's an anchor here that you got to cut ties with in order for you to move forward. Now, you have to awaken to that. You really have to see what's limiting your ability to do that. Okay. And then cut it loose. It could be yourself. It could be somebody else. It could be lots of things. So take a look at this. Okay. And then when it comes to the High Priestess here with imagination, we kind of talked a little bit about that when it first came out, because the High Priestess is somebody who has that inner knowing, that wisdom, and listens to their intuition and how to do it. You really got to go with your gut. Your gut is not going to steer you wrong. I'm going to take another card. 3 of Wands. Yes. Okay. So this is your manifestation card too. This is what one of my favorite tarot people says, this is the 111 card. This is opening doors for you. You're absolutely being able to see the fruits of your labor, so long as you can actually expand your horizons and realize that this little tiny thought bubble that you are living in right now, where you're surrounding yourself with can't, is kind of keeping you stuck. You need to dream big, and you need to listen to your gut. Most of the time, if your gut says, hey, you know what, maybe I should do this, go with it. Like, absolutely go with it. Don't sit there and be like, oh, well, you know what, that probably won't work, and da-da-da-da-da. This is your sign to go with it, okay? You really need to listen to your gut a little bit more. Your subconscious, your high priestess knows exactly where you want to go and what you want to do. And this is just proof that it's there, but that you're not listening to it, okay? The Page of Cups with this is a lot about your emotionality and being kind of on the lower rung of the cup level. You are on the low rung of the cups level. The page is he's the newbie, and he's just now learning to fill his own cup. He's just now learning that he can offer his cup to others. This is the beginning of a beautiful chapter with learning. Okay, learning yourself, learning your own emotional needs, and how to kind of fill your own cup and block the rest of the negativity out, and also to reach out to other people who are like-minded and connect with souls that are similar to yours. Okay, I really think that that's a very strong message here. But I do, I feel like the acceptance piece was pretty clear, so I'm not going to grab more tarot, but I am going to just take 3 more cards and see what we have for future. Like, what do we have coming if we're able to see this process through in this moment? We obviously have free will, but if we're following this outcome and this comes into fruition, where are we headed? That's my question. So we have the Nine of Pentacles, a very good sign. We have the Page of Wands, learning to fly. And we have the Four of Wands, which is another 1111 card. You are manifesting big time. Okay, the 1111 card, the Four of Wands, is a beautiful message of, what do I want to say here? It's positive energy. all that pausing just to say positive energy. You're embracing that frequency that's going to open the door to encounters with you and other people that are really going to play a pivotal role in helping you achieve this desire. And this person very well could be the connector. It doesn't have to be a person. It could technically be a situation as well. So keep your eyes peeled for a person or a specific offering or connection. But this thing is going to play a very pivotal role in getting that connection going to, your next step in this. Okay. The Page of Wands is kind of the next step. It's definitely, like I said, it's always newbie energy, but they're creative, they're enthusiastic, they're kind of like the fire fool card. They're artistic and romantic and just so dynamic. And I really think that this creativity and this passion is really going to serve you well once we get past this, because I think that it's going to be like kind of a bit of a rocky road, and then it's going to be like bam, 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 and then clear sailing. It's whatever this hump is over here with this tower is really going to just, I see like doors flying open. That was the first thing I thought of, where I think I said in the beginning that like I see these big barn doors, these 2 doors that are absolutely shut, and it's got that bonk, like that bar that just keeps everything locked, and stuff are trying to come in and manifest for you, but you're the one that has that bar there. You're the one that has to lift that bar. That's the tower. That is you leaving whatever it is behind from your past. Okay, move that bar, the doors are going to fling open. They're going to blow open is kind of what I'm seeing here. And then we have the Nine of Pentacles, having more than enough, being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, to be satisfied, to be happy, to be content. This is one step away from the Ten of Pentacles where you have it all. The Nine of Pentacles is like happiness, but low key. It's like, I'm good. I am totally satisfied with how my life is right now. Ten of Pentacles is like, whoa, everything's fantastic. But the Nine of Pentacles is like, yeah, I'm good. I have more than enough. I have what makes my needs. I am fulfilled. Okay. We want to get to the Ten of Pentacles, but this is a very, very, very good place to be after all of this other stuff. So really kind of hone into this manifesting energy for you guys right now. I really can't stress this enough, is that there are a lot of cards that are telling you to release the junk and embrace the positive. I really think that that's the biggest overall. If I had to sum it up in one silly sentence, it's cut the anchors and spread your wings and go. Okay. Sadie, honey, please stay out of that. Thank you. My goodness. She's only a year and a half old. She's still a puppy. Okay. Let's see. Oh my God. I'm just like decided to fly into my lap. Okay. Let's see if I can get some dedicated message from your spirit guides, some words of hope, some wisdom, something, some affirmations. That's kind of what we're going for right now. Let's get some affirmations. Sometimes these actually, sometimes these are messages that are straight from your spirit guides and they just want to tell you something, remind you something, make sure you know, or they are affirming what we have already talked about. But either way, let's see what they have to chat about. All right. Okay. What do you have to say? That was pretty good. You're a leader. This flipped. It counts. What else? That one went high. I'm so curious to see what that was. That one flew. Okay. They wanted 4. You are a leader. In an effort to accomplish great things, you recognize the value of working with others. You make a capable and compassionate leader who can bring people together and drive a team toward achievement. Very good. I am harmonious. You relate to others on an almost cosmic level. You are dedicated to building harmonious relationships of all kinds. You have the ability to persuade others to your point of view by using gentle means. We also have I am independent. The quality of work you can produce when you're going at it alone is almost unbelievable. You are independent. You are ambitious, capable of performing every step of the way with efficiency, focus, and skill. And this is the big fat one that went flying. I am perceptive. You have an inquisitive mind that allows you to uncover important truths. You have a special ability to read other people's feelings. A wisdom seeker, and your angels ask to share your knowledge for the benefit of others. I am perceptive. There is your purpose right there. There's something there. So if that sparked anything in your brain when I was reading that card, kind of go with that. I just got absolute goosebumps all over my body. And usually when that happens, that is affirmation from my spirit guides that is absolutely 110% the message you are meant to receive right now. So that is kind of my own clarification and my own proof that we are nailing the board when it comes to this reading. But I think your angels are trying to tell you to embrace that power that is yourself. You probably have forgotten it. You've forgotten that you're amazing. I don't know if somebody did that to you, but you really need to just kick them to the curb and accept the fact that you are an amazing human being. Don't let other people's beliefs about you define you. Okay? Okay. Well, that is everything I have for you. I feel very satisfied with this reading. So you know the drill. Thank you so much again for being here. Please subscribe if you're not already to the channel. I recently also opened up an account on Substack where I can just kind of send newsletters out to my people. Whoever's interested in learning more about either tarot, getting free readings. It's kind of like a little mini newsletter version of what we do here. So if you are interested in that, run on over to Substack and look for Miss Tarot. My domain is the House of Miss Tarot. It's the House of Miss Tarot. So you can follow me over there if you are really into more tarot and daily tarot pulls and knowledge and some other more in-depth readings. So go ahead and subscribe to me over there. But definitely subscribe to me here if you haven't already. Okay? Thank you again for being here. I appreciate you guys. I will be back this weekend with a week ahead tarot card reading, and I will hopefully get a love reading out in the next couple days as well. So big things happening. Happy November. I appreciate you guys. Take care. Bye.